You feel that stiff wind? Whew. Welcome back, fishing friends, to another adventure, the cold front edition. And boy, it's blowing through right now. Hey, if you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate all the support. My name's Alan, and I'm usually fishing or testing lures. I guess it's the same thing. But anyway, I appreciate everybody supporting the channel. Let's get it rolling. Have some fun today. All right, guys. So, I'm going to start off by rigging this Flux Gill a little bit different. I've tested it and it works for me. So I'm just got a MEPS right there, a size 3, and I'm just rigging it, the Flux Gill, like this. You can also do it where it's weedless. I got a single hook on there, and I already have a video where I reviewed the Flux Gill and my thoughts on it, so go check that out. But I'm throwing this on a St. Croix Avid 20-pound sunline, 12-pound sunline braid to a 12 fluoro leader, and I'm throwing it on the Retrieval by Shimano. So I'm just kind of, it'll lift on you because of the what it looks like, but when it falls, man, oh man, it's got this cool action. I know this cold front's blowing through right as we speak, but hey, I'm still out here testing it. You can see shad busting on the surface all over. So the cool thing about inline spinners and with MEPS, when I do my little modified rigging, is if you crank quicker, it'll stay in near the surface. You can almost do it like a topwater. Slow to medium crank, keep it in the middle of the water column, and if you crank it real slow, then you know you got it near the bottom. So that's going to be the plan for today. I'm going to show you how I rig this 2 different ways with different setups. You could also do this on a bladed jig, which I've done, and it works really well, but I'm a stickler for my power stingers and my Kalins. Oh, there we go. Look at that, guys, right there in front of me. Oh, and he let go. He let go. Ooh. He hit that thing so close to the shore. I couldn't even see him. Crazy. Anyway. Yeah, on the bladed jigs, I've fished it with it, but man, I love having my Kalins as trailers and the Berkeley Power Stinger. Lake Fork Live Magic Shad works really well too. So I know the wind is going to drive everybody nuts, but it's good because we're on the wind-blown side here, and I prefer fishing like that. You can see the sunline casting, no issues with the wind. I'm just doing my slow crank. You don't have to go bananas with it. Now if you want to burn it as a topwater, like at night or at the crack of dawn or something, go for it. Alright guys, we're hooked up on this Flux Gill MEPS mod that I do. Let's see what we got here. Oh man, that's a nice fish right there. It's a little hybrid. Check that out. Ooh wee. All right, guys, there he is. Right there. Not a bad fish. Zoom. There he goes. The other thing I like to do with this is I just leave it on the bottom. Even though it's a spinner, I'll just give it a couple of tugs and then I'll get it cranking again, or twitch it a little, Stop crank, because it does a cool diving effect. Since it's windy, you can't really see it fluttering down, but man, it's got a great flutter. And of course, you know, you're getting some good action from the blade. So the other thing is with this is you want to have fun with it, and you don't want to get too stressed out, you know what I mean? I had to think about that, how to word it, because some people will get just automatically thinking, oh man, I'm going to catch every fish in there. You got to have fun and just have confidence and just be patient. A lot of times when people are trying new baits, man, they go bananas and thinking it's going to be like a fish magnet. I mean, this is a fish magnet. Ooh, I just had a hit right there on the way down. It is a fish magnet in a sense, but you got to be patient. You can't be going bananas, and you got to focus on what you're doing. Just slight twitches, and then I'll stop reeling, and sometimes I'll just let it sit on the bottom. That's how I got that one hit right in front of me. So on the slack line, I just let it fall. It'll just do it'll attract attention down there. I'm assuming they're going to come out with different sizes. Man, on a bigger size Meps, if you had like a big 7-incher in this thing, ooh, you could be crushing pike and muskie on a size 5 blade that Meps has. And you could also, if they had a smaller, let's say like a 2.5-inch version, holy cow. I don't have any concerns about durability. I've never had issues with them in the testing that I've done. The thing is this, from a business standpoint, you don't want the thing to be indestructible because you got to make money. And if you do have a little bit of issue with some durability, just trim it. Trim it down, it'll still work. On these little MEP setups like this, I also like to throw the little Berkeley power bait, that little jerk shad. Man, that thing is awesome on this setup too. Has a cool rolling action. I'm surprised these dudes with this FF sonar, and maybe the next progression with people, because they're getting used to this shaking, the jig minnow thing. I'll throw that on a MEPS out there and fire that thing out there on the scope, because you can control the depth on these easy. Quick top water, easy going, middle of the water column, super slow, you can creep it. Anyway, there's some ideas that you guys can test with and try out. I don't do any fishing with electronics. I try to stick with how my dad and my cousins and my siblings, we all grew up. Just good old bank fishing. I love it. Not that I'm against any kind of electronics, I just don't ever use them. I probably would enjoy them. I keep thinking one day I'll get a kayak and do some adventures that way, but man, it's just so calming and peaceful. Brian Latimer had put out a video on peace, finding peace and fishing, and that's it, 100%. I had an old geezer one time when I was fishing up on the Red River near Lake Texoma. I mean, it was at the crack of dawn, and he was walking his dog, and He's asking what I was fishing for, and I told him, I said, well, you got some nice largemouth in here, you got some striper, and I said, I just love coming out here. And he says, I can tell you're at peace by how you talk, your mannerisms, and just how you are. And I was like, yeah, being in the outdoors and fishing will cure just about anything. Oh, there it is, good for the soul. There we go, right there. You just got to be patient, guys. What is this? Man, he just hammered it. The Flux Gill, guys. Ooh, oh, and he spit it right there. He freaked out. Whew. That was my fault goofing around. I should have just bank flipped him. There we go, right there. That's the setup. This one I think is this June bug color. I've caught them on pretty much all the colors. The blue, they have like a bluegill color or sunfish color that's a really good one, and of course green pumpkin. But I really like this color. Oh, I had a hit right there. A little guy, I think. That was my fault. I should have just bank flipped him straight in instead of goofing around playing with him. I know it stinks that it's windy, guys, but check it out. See the cloud line? That's the front right there. Look at that. It comes swinging in like a swinging gate. The fish are still biting. So we're down here in Texas, by the way, at one of the many lakes I fish. Here it'll be more like a, I don't know, sometimes we get those blue northerns, a big cold front. This one's supposed to be a cold front, but so far it's not too bad temperature wise. I mean, it's just windy. Boy, when I taught in Amarillo, sheesh, we get big snowstorms there. A lot of people don't realize that about Texas, but man, it's at a higher elevation up on the plains, and those storms come out of New Mexico and Colorado and just dump snow. I've had days where the low temperature was 8 and 9 below zero at the house there. Highs were like in the single digits. Crazy. We had a snow one time, a 26-inch snow. They had to shut the interstates down, I-40 and I-27. And the school that I was at, they had to get the snow off because it was starting to cave in the roof. Crazy. We missed school for, I think it was like a week. The whole city was trying to dig out from under that. Anyway, just some thoughts here on how cool that looks. When you're out fishing, you can actually see the front. Man, that is just so cool. Here in a few minutes, I'm going to show you the other way I rig it. The cool thing about this is it's got those holes in there. It pushes bubbles out and helps disperse that scent. And it's got a solid core in there, and it's real thin, so it glides when it's going down. Look at that. Sometimes I do fish at weedless, but sometimes just like this with that exposed hook. Did you see that little shad flicker right there in front of me? They're around. There's some big bass in here too. A couple weeks ago I got a 9-pounder out of here. It was on the Berkeley Slobber Knocker with a Berkeley Power Stinger. As to the trailer, there's some juice for you right there, guys. The Berkeley Power Stinger, they sell them in little kits that you can put on the Slobber Knocker. I usually fish those and jackhammers. Yeah, earlier I think I was saying that Bailey and Hunter were talking about different ways to rig this on his podcast. But it's Andy on the Lure Lab. They were talking about it. But there's definitely one way to rig it right there. This thing is just awesome. There you can kind of see how it flutters. Man. And the color, because it's got that fleck in there that, let me hold it up here so you can see a little bit better. See the little fleck in there? Man, that looks awesome. The other one I have is, I think, watermelon red flake. And that one looks really cool too. The thing is, guys, you better stock up on these packs, because once the springtime rolls around, everybody's going to be using these for drop shots, all kinds of stuff. Flipping it, pitching it. Let's check on the progress of the front. Man, that looks cool. We're here for a fishing video, but I'm doing a weather report live as it's happening. Man, that wind is definitely cooler. Look, it's even shocking bluegill. Check that out. Man, he keeps fluttering. He's not gonna make it. Somebody's gonna come up here and just either, looks like maybe a gar snapped him and didn't get him. Maybe a catfish. All right, guys, so here's the other way I rigged this on a swim jig. Just like that. Works fabulous. Just like that. Pitch it and flip it around. I've been fishing it for a little bit. And it's just, what I do with this is I let it sit there for a little bit in case it attracted attention on the fall. Then I'll start just cranking, kill it, hop it a little bit. Ooh, that wind. So I just change it up, change the retrieve up. There's a little shad flickering there. That bluegill that was floating around here earlier, when I was fishing, I heard a doop. It was about 3 feet off to my right, and it was just a real subtle sploosh. Something came up and sucked them down. I think it was a gar. There's some big gar in here. I've caught some big gar in here. Or catfish maybe, or it could have been a bass. The other way I like to rig this thing, believe it or not, is on a Ned rig. Whew! Boy, they'll just, the whole thing just gets inhaled. So there you go, you got some options on how to rig the Flux Gill. Man, this one's that cool watermelon color right there. It's got the flake in it. I'm just telling you now, get out there and get a bunch of packs for the holidays. Maybe you can find them on these deals that are going on. Because come springtime, Well, people already got them on their decks using them. Man, look at that. It looks so cool in the water. Match made in heaven right there. Pitch that sucker around. Whew. I'm gonna go down here. There's a sunken picnic table. And we're gonna pitch around that and see what we can get. All right, guys. There's a picnic table. I gotta be careful because there's tons of line that's all caught up in that thing. Like there, I hit a piece of line. People with these catfish rigs. But I've caught some big bass off of this. In my initial review, doing the drop shot, it was right there where I caught them. Man, that looks good in the water. Check that out. Perfect pairing right there of colors. Man, that wind. Oh, I had a thump, guys, and he didn't get it. A certifiable dunk. All right, guys, right here, in close. Man, they've just been cruising the bank, looking for stuff. Man, check that out. On the jig, right there. Man, that is epic. There we go. Man, I thought this dude was a largie. The way he hit like a truck. There he is. Not a bad fish right there. Let's go. Off you go. All right, good stuff right there. All right, guys. You don't need any more proof from me about how this is gonna go with if you're using that Flux Gill. Look at that. Swim jig. Perfect. You know it's going to work on a bladed jig. You know it works on modified MEPs. Just pitch it out there and have some fun. That Berkeley Max scent. 100%. Getting the job done. I felt dunk, 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 dunk. Oh my gosh, guys. See, there's a bunch of those little ones in there. So you got hybrids, white bass, and of course the largies. And so when I'm bringing it in, I feel the pump, 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 pump. We got a giant crappie in here too. It could be a crappie. But a lot of times I'll just kill it and then hop it. And that guy just crushed it just a couple feet off the bank. I mean, look how cool that looks in the water swimming. And then look, if you just set it down, it glides down. And they'll sniff it out if you just leave it there. And if you tug it along, it looks like a little craw or an injured bluegill or sunfish. Anyway, there you go. Some ways that I rig it. Oh, I just had one thump right there. Man, this is so much fun to fish with. All right, guys. That's gonna wrap it up for me for today. I just want to give you a quick rundown on how I rigged this Berkley Flux Gill. Go check out the products that Berkley's got. Like I use that Power Stinger, the Twitch Minnow. That thing is fun. Twitch Tail. Man, that thing is fun. That little power bait twitch tail, caught a ton of fish on that. So go check out their stuff and just get out there and have some fun. Do some testing. Throw it around. If you're in a boat, man, you can just, all kinds of different spots you can use this. Pitching, flipping docks, laydowns, deep, dragging it, just hopping along. Man, you could free rig it. You could Ned rig it like I did. Just a lot of different ways you can do it, and of course the drop shot. Anyway, I'm not sponsored by anybody, guys. I always tell you, you know, if I like the stuff I'm fishing with, ooh, I got a pitch out there. Man, that was a gar definitely, but I'm still pitching. That was a beast of a gar that came up. Anyway, so you guys know, if I like it, I'm going to tell you about it. But no, I'm not sponsored by anybody. I will tell you this. Those MEPs, if you make your modified MEPs like that, go with MEPs. They're the original that figured a lot of that stuff out with the blades and with the aglia. And there's all kinds of different ones you can use. All right, until next time, get out there and have some fun, and I will see you then. Bye-bye. What do you think? One more cast and I should just burn it along this bank? I felt a thump. It's those little ones. Yeah. The thing is, I kind of like to let it sit there so that they can sniff it out, you know what I mean? They see it hit the water, it has that cool glide coming down. Twitch it a little. All right, let's get her going. All right, guys, I gotta hit the road. I gotta go meet somebody for lunch, but until next time, I will see you then. Bye-bye. Now get out there and get your lures wet.